And welcome along to PSGL Season 27. This is round number 6. We're approaching the halfway point of the season and we head to the Temple of Speed in Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. My name is Jess and joining me in the commentary box as per usual, we got Dan. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing brilliant today, Jess, and I'm really excited to come to the Temple of Speed, and we're going to watch these guys go around 27 laps. It's quite a quick race, actually. It's a really fast circuit, and I believe you're spending over 3/4 of a lap at full throttle, which is absolutely incredible. These guys are going to make a great race out of it, as they always do.
Yep, 70% of the lap is actually taken at full throttle as well, so you can really see how fast these cars go, especially for the Ferraris of Lamp F1 and World Rally as well. World Rally is back this week after his unfair disqualification from the game, so hopefully he'll have a better result this week. But anyway, the first race which was held in this track was 1950, and we saw the closest F1 race finish ever in 1971 with Peter Geffen and Ronnie Peterson, so I wonder if we're going to see something closer tonight. But before we go into the qualifying session, we'll have a quick look at the standings. Benjamin still leads. He got a podium last week in Monaco, but it was Simo who took his first PSGL win in F2, if not ever, in this league. And it was due to a lot of people getting penalties, and that really benefited him. He's in 8th at the moment, but Benjamin leads, and we got Mish in 2nd on 36 points. 3rd place is of the Lee Philly, who's been promoted, but he's still there because he scored points in his first 2 races. Then we have Fabi in 4th, Samuel being in 5th, Will in 6th, Table Clan in 7th, Simo in 8th, Luca in 9th, and then we got Hadler in 10th. When we got Midnight in 11th, Tomato in 12th on 12 points, and Kazooie in 13th on 12 points, and we got Ballina and Petrox making up the top 15 that you can see on your screen there. The constructors, Renault are still leading by only 3 points over AlphaTauri in 2nd on 53 points. 3rd place is Racing Point on 48. 4th place is McLaren on 41. 5th is Williams on 37. 6th is Haas with 28. Then we have Alfa Romeo in 7th, 24. Red Bull in 8th on 18 points. 9th is Ferrari with 8. And 10th is Mercedes on 7 points. So without further ado, let's head straight to qualifying. And there's a lot of people already out going on their laps, apart from one person. So this is going to be a very busy opening part of the session today, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just beginning it now. I believe Simo, our race winner from last week at his home Grand Prix, is the first one to begin a lap. You just want to brake at the 100-meter board. You can take a lot of curb through here, open it up for the second corner. He's taking that really nicely through the first chicane and up towards the really famous Curva Grande. A beautiful corner, this one. All those yellow flags in sector 3, do not worry about them. Just everyone's slowing down for their lap. These guys very good at spacing themselves out appropriately, and now into one of 3 chicanes at this circuit. He's gone onto the gravel a little bit, and unfortunately what looked like a really promising lap from Simo has got a bit wayward, and he unfortunately went off the circuit and invalidated his lap.
That is not good for his home Grand Prix, of course, but he's going to use momentum from last week to help him win his home Grand Prix too. And someone that can also do well in the Italian Grand Prix, like they did in F2 last season, was the highest finisher of the F2 drivers last season, Hadler, who actually finished P2 after penalties. Hadler was one of the only drivers to not get a penalty. He kept it consistent, he kept it clean, and his best result was actually finishing P5 this season as well in Australia. So he wants to further improve on his season so far, but don't forget, this is a tier where no line is run, no assists are run, so it is all down to a driver skill and setup, of course. Luckily, no rain is affected by these drivers at the moment as Hadler goes into turn 4, as Mish is our current benchmarker at the moment, because all the lap times are coming thick and fast here. We're not going to see many in the 180s. I'm going to expect the 117s is going to be the benchmark for pole today as Hadler makes his way, as he also invalidates as well. I need to find someone that's gone past the 2 layers modes, and that is Samuel Bean, and he did not invalidate his lap time. So let's continue on board with him on our lap time as he heads towards Ascari. DRS wide open at 210 miles per hour. Go to the left, then to the right, and then to the left again. He's purple in sector 2. A lot of people just can one ride around here, but Samuel hasn't done that at all, which is great to see, as we'll see more lap times coming thick and fast here. The first person into the 117th is Benjamin. Can Samuel Bean actually join him at this moment in time? We'll have to find out. as he goes into 8th gear, the shortest run to the line. What lap time is he going to set? It is a pole position with a 1:17.7, a really fast lap time already in his early parts of the session, Dan.
Yeah, brilliant coming out from Samuel being there, of course, a race winner this season in F2, in F1 last season, but he didn't quite have a decent season enough. So yeah, this is really good from him to be putting in that kind of lap time. I was really impressed with Benjamin, and then all of a sudden he gets knocked completely out the water. 1.5 tenths up on him is Samuel Bean, of course. Very important lap from him there. I believe he was on the podium last week, so he's definitely a late challenger to really take a fight to Benjamin. Of course, at the moment he wasn't here for the first couple of races, if I'm not mistaken. Came in at Belgium, won on debut, and then really brought the fight now. And he's certainly in a good position. Confidence will be sky high for him. One of only 2 drivers in the 1:17s, and then just outside that, Toxic Tomato. Of course, he's running on that account tonight, not on Shazoo Tomato, and yeah, he's just having issues. I don't know what's wrong with him there.
No, I don't know either. I'm trying to sort out sound with my Elgato for a second because that was a bit glitchy at the moment. So, and I think we're all good. So apologies about the sound issues. There's a few people have cut the corners there. But yeah, Samuel Bean on pole with Ballina second, Benjamin third and Toxic Tomato in 4th with 3 people yet to set a lap time. Simo, I believe, is going out again. Yes, he is going out again at this moment in time. So there we go, as he goes out in towards the start-finish straight as well. Royal Rally is about to start this lap as well. I think Royal Rally's confidence must have gone down after the game let him down last week. We still don't quite know what happened. We were looking after the race, and he was given 7 penalties in the space of 1 corner as he came out of the pits, and it was deemed a bit unfair, really. And let's hope he doesn't get that tonight, luckily. But the pit exit is not too bad around here, so I think not many people will get caught out in these circumstances.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the chat. It looks like Tim is saying something's wrong with the game audio, but I just listened into the stream. I don't hear any issues, so I don't know if that's something on your end or if it's on his end, but something's wrong with the game audio. I'll message him now about it, but I don't know what is wrong with that one there. So World Rally,
we're trying to fix it, don't worry, we're trying to fix it. That's why I had it on mute for a bit. Sorry.
World Rally just finishing up a lap. He's just come out of the sky, looking really strong. I believe it was a 51.9 through the second sector. My voice going a little bit raspy, but now he's just going to have to open it up and then cut right back in. So he takes the shortest run to the line, the Ferrari, crossing it here. Shades of Charles Leclerc, and unfortunately he goes into 14th position.
And I think we lost Dan as well, I think, for a little bit, unless he probably cut.
My mic fell out.
Yeah, we're having some issues today for some weird reason. It always seems to be one race where we have issues, and that's one lesson learned. I should test my Elgato before the stream, but I forgot to do that, so apologies about that. But with 10 minutes to go, everyone is going out again. I've noticed a lot of these drivers have gone on the soft tyres very early on as well. It is an easy one stop if they're on the dry tyres, softer mediums, I would say, if they pit around lap 8 to 11. But I wonder if they just want to get their laps as quickly as they possibly can, because they only have 3 runs in on those soft tyres, so I'm guessing they're pretty confident with their laps already. Hadler, the only driver yet to set a lap time at this moment, so we'll have to wait and see, of course, what he does. And this old guard so is having huge troubles today. It's out of sync according to everyone, so that is so frustrating. So we're really sorry, guys, but Hadler comes into the second Lesmo as well. I've got to say, this is going to take a small mistake for these drivers to not get pole today.
Yeah, they are, of course, very tightly contested. Doesn't look like Hadler is on the most impressive lap in the world, 52.2 through the second sector. It was Williams off the circuit. That was either Will or Toxic. Also, I guess Tomato, I should just keep calling him that, because he is still the same man, but through the Parabolica corner, now the final corner, it is, of course, Hadler. Carlos Sainz on the podium in Italy this season, and he was on the podium last season as well. And there's Hadler crossing the line, and it is it's 1 minute. I can't have it because, sorry, 1 minute 18.2. I've just completely lost my train of thought there. Sorry.
Yeah, indeed. So Hadler goes into 11th place, and that's technically the alternate strategy pole position at this moment in time. So that's where he is right now, and I think he wants to start there because he's probably going to go on to the medium compound tyres, and Ballina finished his lap in second, and he's going out again as well. Lamp, the only driver I think inside the top 10 pretty much, is in the pit lane. So I think he's going to wait just a little bit to get a lap. I believe Luca has invalidated as well. As I've got to say, the AlphaTauris were looking quite strong in the opening parts of the season, but Ballina seems to lose a bit of momentum in last week's race. He's gaining his momentum this week in second position as Samuel Bean goes faster again with a 1:17.642 as he heads into turn one now. And I have to say, Samuel Bean definitely a favourite for the title as well as Benjamin. I think we can see a two-horse fight for the championship unless the likes of Kazui, Fabi and Toxic Tomato can come out of this as well. Toxic Tomato was saying to me that he was running no line for the first time in a while, taking a while to get used to, and he kind of wishes that line was turned back on, but that's something that you have to get your head around. And he's said to me also that he's had to put a little bit more practice compared to F2 last season because he needs to know where the braking points are and where the best line is going into turn one, for example. But he comes into the pits now, 7 minutes left, and in most Italian Grand Prix you can give your teammate slipstream, but not in PSGL. Slipstream is banned with your teammate. If you get caught, you do get a time penalty. So we're going to keep a close eye on that this week because I know a few people have fallen foul to that.
PC Brain just beginning up a lap. It doesn't look like he was strong. The last one must have made a mistake somewhere along the lap, but a couple guys at the top, I believe, are on a lap. Ballina is using up his ERS, so that could suggest to me that he is on a run at the moment. He's just coming through Parabolica now to finish up in the final sector. It's looking quite strong from Ballina. Of course, Benjamin's teammate, the championship leader, but can his teammate respond? They didn't have a good qualifying last week. What can Ballina do? He does improve it to 17.7, but he doesn't jump anyone. Of course, he's in third position still, behind his teammate and behind Samuel Bean.
Yeah, so keeping it consistent to his teammate, of course, not that far behind Benjamin in P2 as well. So I'm guessing this is going to really help them in the race. If you have your teammates close together, then you're really going to help with the tow and try and get ahead of the rest of your rivals. The likes of Petrox, who's starting to catch up as well. And there was an incident last week with Kazui, and he got jumped, I think, to P7 in the race last week, which was a bit of a shame for him. He was originally P4 and dropped down a few positions because of it, and he was very unlucky with getting 6 seconds of time penalties in the race as well. But again, he wants to help Renault go into the top. It was this race last week was his most scored race of the season. He actually got pole as well. He's one of the favourites to get pole today. He's on his outlap. He's got a point to prove in this tier that he can get pole once again. Simo is in last at the moment, and I'm sure that the Italian home ground, the Tifosi, will be cheering him on as he heads towards the Parabolica now, as we watch the end of his lap for him. Almost invalidated there, used the green line just a little bit. That might have helped him slightly, and he doesn't move up a position, but he actually improves on his time. A 1:18.141 puts him in 13th position. I do believe someone else ahead of him has improved as well, which is why he got demoted just a little bit there. So it's great to see everyone has set a lap time as well, but I'm sure people want to improve just a little bit better as well. I believe Kazui is going out on his lap too. I've got to say, any surprises that we'll probably see in this session today?
Well, so far a standout performance in consideration to the other caliber, the caliber of the other drivers around him is Lamp. He's not had the best season so far, but he's remained consistent in qualifying. He's currently just 3/10 off of Samuel Bean at the moment. I know he's putting a lot of practice with some of the F1 guys who'll be racing, of course, at 8 p.m. tonight. But make sure you finish watching our stream first. Thanks, XX. As he's been putting in the work with guys like Gamer and Sparks as well, so really high quality and high talented guys. So he's definitely been taking some advice from them, and he's putting a really good lap so far.
Yep, indeed, and like we said, he's clean on penalties as well, as we said earlier on in the session before the game decided to glitch out on me at the moment. But yeah, Hadler, he's just invalidated. We talked about him and he's invalidated his lap, so commentator's curse from both of us. So yeah, we both talk good things about him, and he just messes up his lap. But he's probably going to go in now to the pits because we've got 4 minutes left and get one final lap in. But that is not a good way to waste your tyres, I have to say, at the moment. But I think he must have got caught out in the Lesmos, I have to say, as well. And the Algarto delay I will sort out after this qualifying session whilst we're in the in-between phases, so I'll sort that out. Is Hadler going out again? I think he's going out again, you know. He might do, actually, or unless he's letting some people through. Nope, he's actually going into the pits, and so is Will as well, so it's going to be the calm before the storm soon. Samuel Bean has invalidated as well. Yeah, it's just everyone going into the pits now, so it's going to be a quiet moment before everyone comes out again.
Yeah, they're just gearing up for their final runs. They can't really plan any slipstream with their teammates, but they'll just be focusing on themselves. And we've got some guys just pulling out the pit lane now to begin their outlaps. There's a Haas car and a Red Bull as well. One of those Red Bull cars is Luca. I believe the Haas is Petrox. He'll be the first one to really start his final push lap. Petrox, a very talented driver, and of course he's only just under 3/10 off, so if he could find a lot of improvement, he could be a bit of a surprise for pole position. VRT sitting 3, 4 and 5 at the moment, so really strong from the team as a whole, but Petrox will probably want to get ahead of the likes of Benjamin and Balliner in this qualifying session. I'd say that's his goal.
Yeah, I think so as well for Petrox too. And if he sets invalidated laps, that's not going to help him. But yeah, I'm sure that they still work together in a VRT chat, maybe working out different setups and practicing together as well, as do all the esports teams in all the tiers as well, especially F1, where pretty much all the grid is filled with esports teams, apart from a few drivers as well. So, you know, VRT being one of them here, and obviously we've got Shazoo, MMT and IGK, NWS, and I think that's it. I think there's Greenie's team as well there too. So I think most of them are pretty much an esports team here as well. It's just some of them are not noticeable as well. So Petrox is about to start his final lap then as he heads towards turn 1. 1 minute 50 to go. Our championship leader is about to start too as well. If he wants to get pole again, he needs to set a very, very good lap time right now. I won't be surprised if we'll see lap times close enough to matching the F1 drivers tonight, which you can catch at 8 o'clock, of course, like Dan said. But yeah, Benjamin may get a bit of slipstream from other people without noticing it, as everyone is making their way through turn 1. So we've got Samuel Bean and Kazooie as well. I think someone needs to slow down, I think, 'cause that's technically not allowed, but they're just going on their outlaps anyway as well. So, you know, it should be interesting today, the shortest lap possible, but there is going to be possibly threat of rain potentially in the race. Usually there is in PSGL F2. There's always a threat of rain when I'm in the commentary box. Hopefully it does not happen, but we've had no complaints in the Twitter chat, so I'm assuming that it is going to be some dry running at this race so far. With 50 seconds left on the clock, everyone's about to start. It's getting quite busy towards sector 2. So, well, the start of sector 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars already lined up against each other. So I think a lot of people just need to move out of the way, because otherwise they're not going to set a good lap in with 30 seconds left to go. I think we should be all right at the moment, but there's a lot of people just want to get the best possible lap. They want to get some clean air, but I think there is danger you just won't get out in time. So they get at speed pretty fast at the moment, as Toxic is not going to set a lap time as he's retired in 10th position.
The first of the final laps have come out. Petrox managed to cross the line in 2nd position. Benjamin made a mistake at the final corner, and that completely screwed over any chance of a good lap that he had there. Ballon has just begun on a lap, so they're all finishing up their final runs. The highest up driver in terms of their quali position at the moment is Lamp F1, who is furthest up on a lap, as Midnight actually crossed the line in 4th position. CC Brain makes an improvement into 7th. They're all setting in faster laps than they have done previously. 2 McLarens are about to cross the line. Fabi is the one behind, so it's Hadler to finish at first. He was on the podium last season. Unfortunately, he's going to come into the pit lane. Fabi, though, crossing the line, he takes 7th position. So yeah, they're all making improvements here, Jess.
Yeah, they are, and I'm going to see who else is to cross the line. I believe it's the 2 Ferraris up next, the one that the Tifosis are cheering for, and they're going to the pits. So there we go, and so next will be, I think it's Manolo. He can only manage last place. And what about the Italian team of Name Changer and Table Clan? Name Changer has invalidated too. Quite a few invalidations already in this qualifying session. Then next is Luca. He's also invalidated his lap time, and I think it's Benjamin up next. No, it's Ballina who comes across the line, and he takes the shortest one to the line. He does not invalidate. That's P2 for the AlphaTauri driver, but Kazui beats him quite a little bit actually in P2 at the moment. What about Samuel Bean? He goes fastest with a 1:17.574. What about Petros? He goes into the pit lane. Benjamin, he can't improve. Obviously, he messed up in the final part of qualifying. So all that's left, I think that's everybody. So Samuel Bean is on pole position, and for the second time in a row, it's a Renault on pole, and it's a Renault 1-2.
Yeah, so those Renaults really strong in recent weeks. I believe that they were 1 and 2 on the front row last week as well, if I'm not mistaken. They were certainly in high up positions, and they did finish in a very strong fashion, 2nd and 4th. They take 1 and 2. Ballina manages to snatch P3, and then Petrox making it a 2nd row lockout for the VRT team in 4th. Midnight manages to make a surprise appearance in 5th, and Benjamin managing to only get 6th position. Fabian 7th, 8th for Mish, and 9th for CC Brain. The final driver in the top 10 starting on that same set of tyres is Lamp F1, and getting a free choice of tyres is going to be Will G, sorry, not Will G, PR1 Will, Toxic Tomato, World Rally 1992, Greeny LFC, MNT Luca, Shizou Name Changer, and IGK Simo. Then the 2 rounding it off, sorry, there's actually 3, Hadler and Table Clan Amanolo finishing off.
And look at the gap between, I would say, the top, pretty much every single driver. It's around about 6/10 of a second. Probably the closest qualifying session you will ever see in PSGL F2 for quite some time, which is very interesting to see. So big well done to all the drivers there for keeping it consistent. But again, like I said, small mistakes definitely cost you in F2. And that is what didn't help many drivers here today, of course. But before we go into the session, we're going to have a quick look at the track map. So the track is around about 5.7 kilometers long with 11 turns, and is a lot of DRS straights compared to Monaco. There is 2 detection points, 1 at the start-finish straight, and 1 heading towards Ascari as well. And quite a lot of elevation changes as well in this track, as we're waiting for all the drivers to ready up. And in our commentary box window at this moment in time, we can see it's completely dry, nice and sunny, no cloud in the sky at this moment in time. So I don't think there's going to be any rain unless Cody's decide to throw a spanner in the works. So majority of the top, outside the top 10 at least, will be going on the alternate strategy as we wait to find out what these drivers do at the moment. Let us know if the sound is less delayed at the moment, as I fixed it whilst we were on the break, as we got quite a mixture outside the top 10. I thought everybody outside the top 10 would go on mediums.
Yeah, well, mate, I'd understand why Tomato would go on a different strategy to Will ahead of him, because they'll have to stack up eventually, so it would really not benefit anyone to go onto the same strategy. But other drivers on these soft tyres is World Rally and Luca and Simo as well. Those are the 4 drivers outside the top 10 that are opted for the soft compound tyre. Of course, they can have a free choice of whatever tyre they want. They could have gone on the hard, but that's not really a viable strategy around this circuit. That's one thing I really do love about Italy, is that it is a straight soft medium strategy, and the alt strat isn't as powerful around here, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, I have to say, it does provide a lot of action, and I'm a bit worried that there could be a lot of DRS trains potentially that could cause less overtaking. We've seen that in many Italian Grand Prix races in PSGL in the past, in particular in PSGL F1 as well, and in some cases in F2, but we saw quite a lot of battles last season as well, which saw Dario actually take the victory. Dario's actually in the chat as well, so he knows how to win here today, and well, in PSGL F2 and obviously in Monza. I wonder if he's going to do something similar in PSGL F1 later on at 8 o'clock. We'll have to find out. But it's Samuel Bean on pole, Kazui rounding up the front row there with Ballina in 3rd as well. Our championship leader only in 6th position, which is a bit of a shame. But again, Turn 1 is going to be the key factor. We've seen mistakes made by other drivers from other tiers in the past, and we've also seen safety cars as well. I wonder if we're going to see exactly the same tonight. I hope not. These drivers have not caused many safety cars this season, as we're waiting for all 20 drivers to make their way on to the starting grid. It's nice to see a full grid of drivers here today on PS4. And this is the second highest no assists here. We got Samuel Bean on we got the 35 car on the right, and we've got Kazooie on the left in the 97 cars. We wait for the 5 red lights to come up on your screen. It's going to be a bit of a long hold, I think, for the drivers as well, as the game is saying we're on lap 2, but we are not. So I'm just going to wait to see we're on the back of the grid. So I think it may be down to Toxic leaving the session and then rejoining again. That's probably what has happened. So if Toxic is watching, Toxic needs to leave the session, because otherwise we'll have to reset the lobby again, which we don't want to do. But I think that's what we will have to do, and I might get kicked from the session again, which is a bit unfortunate. So Toxic, if you're watching, I think you're the cause of the lobby. So please leave.
Well, they're saying in the Twitter chat that. Well, it was actually World Rally that left there. They're telling him to leave the session.
Oh, it's World Rally.
That works.
All right.
Yeah, but then Tomato is ghosted at the moment, so.
So Toxic's left. So has World Rally ghosted as well? No. So it is World Rally.
To leave. He'll probably be allowed to rejoin
when
we actually do get started. There we go. He leaves the session, and I've just got an error.
And I've just got an error as well, as you can see on the screen. So I'm assuming that we've got a lobby restart. I don't have a clue at the moment.
It's just commentators.
It's just the commentators, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, you're not going to get the start right now. So, imagine the 2 Renault drivers heading in towards turn 1. I believe we got spare invites down. So, we could use those. This is my second spare invite. Actually, no, I don't have any more invites. So, if anyone's watching, who's left, can you send me an invite, please? Because, yeah, we've both been kicked out. So, we can't see anything right now. I thought I had some spare invites, but it turns out they're all gone. So, Dan, do you have any spare invites? If so, can you invite me? Yeah, so can you invite me when you come back?
Yes, I will.
So much has gone wrong today. We do apologise, but it's how we come back from it. So we will try and get the action as soon as possible. And yeah, we love this game really, but these issues just cause a bit of problems as well. Many commentators have had it in the past, and we've got the brunt of it today, sadly, as well. But I have to say, we've got to talk about last year's race with Pierre Gasly taking the win. I would imagine maybe we see a surprise victory today. We saw Dario took his first win in F2, which was kind of a bit of a surprise as well, potentially. Actually, no, he might have got it in Spain as well, but we saw Haller getting a surprise P2. I'm assuming we can get some surprises here today, Dan, once we try and get in.
Well, we can maybe see an AlphaTauri winning it in F2 as well as in real F1, because Babylon and Benjamin are both very, very quick drivers, and they seem to know their way around the circuit. Just whilst I'm inviting him on board with Fabi, and he's coming into the pit lane, and Midnight, I've just seen at the bottom of my screen, is actually retired, and he's left straight away.
I haven't got an invite. Oh no, I have. Now I have.
I'll send you one.
Yeah, I'll try and get in for you. Luckily, I'm not streaming on my PS4, because that would have ended the stream there and there. So we're lucky about that, guys. But that was a witness of what you experienced in the game. So Midnight has left as well. So probably they're for World Rally, they're all AIs. So it's probably his internet that's causing a few issues at the moment. So it's a shame that we didn't see what happened in turn 1, but we're going to see if they're all AIs. No, they all look fine to me in the session. I am back in the session, and we've got one driver that's got a penalty, and Samuel Bean has maintained that lead. Kazooie in second, Banner in third, with Benjamin in 4th position, and the Dow is going to stay for quite a bit, so I'll need to try and find out who's making moves at this moment in time. Will has had a bit of damage on the opening lap, as it seems, as he goes into the pit lane as well, as Handler has dropped a bit of positions from Lucas. Lucas goes around, goes up the inside into turn 1 there. No harm done from the Red Bull driver as he is up into 12. Name Changer stays in 11th position for now, and Samuel Bean is breaking away from his teammate. 1.4 seconds, so they're not using teamwork to full effect, but Samuel Bean just is a lot faster to Kazooie at this point.
Yeah, 1.4 seconds is already the gap. DRS will be enabled. I think it actually already is enabled, yeah, because Ballina is utilising it down the straightaway. That will allow him to just reel in the German just ahead of him, try and break up the trade that the Renaults have at the moment. They're 1 and 2. Benjamin managed to make up a couple positions from the start. He's into 4th position and he's on the tail of his VRT compatriot as well as his AlphaTauri teammate Ballina, as Petrox just bringing up behind them. That's the top 5, but it's really Sammy Bean streaking away at the moment, and he can just take it nice and easy. It looks like Kazooie's used up quite a lot of his ERS as well, so really struggling for this, as I don't think Toxic's in the session, unfortunately. And I was just going to comment on how close Name Changer was, but I don't think Toxic's actually going to be able to put up a fight.
No, he's in the chat. He's in our Twitter chat as well, complaining about stuff. So, and yeah, he's ghosted for me. So, I don't think he's going to join back unless he gets an invite. Petrox has left the session as well. Please don't tell me there is a server issue, because that's what we might see at the moment. As I can see, I thought Mish was Ghost for a second, but no, he is not. As we got Petrox actually having a little bit of an off there as well, but again, he's AI, so that's CC Brain past him as well. I think Simo is going to get past his AI teammate, well, the Petrox bot at this stage. With lap 4, of course, most of these corners are high speed as well, with DRS enabled. And pretty much all the drivers, apart from Kazooie, who is around about 2.6 seconds behind his teammate. We've got Petrox, who is dropped behind his teammate now, Simo as well. Hopefully Petrox can join back as well. We may try and get some invites going as well. The only battles that are happening are just people getting past AIs. Everyone else is just stuck in DRS trains.
Now, well, one battle on circuit that looks like it's shaping up is between Kazooie and Ballina down the straightaway. Doesn't even need to use his ERS, and now on the run up towards turn number 1. This for P2. Ballina manages to find a way through, break up the Renault 1-2 and breaking into the first corner. That is easy as you like from him. Benjamin will now also be on the back of Kazooie. It looks like Kazooie still wants to take the fight to Ballina through Curva Grande, but he's just going to utilise a little bit of ERS, is Ballina, to streak away ever so slightly from Kazooie. But now that advantage shifts back to the German, because he can utilise DRS to find a way back through him, and World Rally rejoins the session, which is good to see. He's currently in 16th position ahead of all the guys that have made their pit stops. They only have to make one, but it looks like they've opted for soft tyres, aside from Lamp, who's probably going to go to the end on that set of hards. Yeah, he's pitted around about lap 3, and I'm almost certain that's going to make it to the end as well. I'm going to see what tyres how long the tyres actually last, because I do have some data on them. 21 laps, so it's a bit pushing it, but you never know. There could be some safety cars that he could be prompted to go onto a different strategy, so he's hoping as well. And obviously he's going to probably go for the fastest lap as well. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a danger situation for that, but you never know, it could pay off. We did see someone try to go on these hards for around about 24 laps, so it is potentially doable, but again, we'll have to wait and see, of course, as we're heading into lap 6 at the moment. Benjamin is all over Kazooie at the moment. Kazooie is stuck in a AlphaTauri sandwich, which is a little bit hard for him as well. He's going to hope he'll be catching up to his teammate, but he is falling foul of the AlphaTauri boys, actually working together to try and potentially get a podium. No penalties as of yet for these drivers as well. Haller gets past Toxic Tomato as well as Table Clan soon. I'm assuming Manolo is going to be doing exactly the same thing as well. But yeah, you can see the top 5 pretty much all in pretty much Ballina up to Mish, all in a DRS train as well. And then we got CC Brain, Simo and Greeny LFC. They're potentially going to be in a train pretty soon as well. So I think everyone's starting to gain quite a bit of momentum and getting a little bit of rhythm as well in heading into this race, but it's still a long way to go. One of the shortest races on the track though, so if you make a mistake now, then you're in deep trouble. Yeah, it's good to see at the moment both Mercedes sitting in the points. They're currently at the back of the pack in the F2 standings, which is quite different from real life. And I've just been on board with Simmer then. He had a bit of a moment through Ascari here to snap the wheel towards the right so he didn't lose the car. Good save from our last week race winner, currently sitting in 7th position. He's got his teammate right behind him of Petrox, but they're both going to try and put pressure onto CC Brain. It looks like Petrox is going to want to try and make a move on his teammate here because he's just he opened up the ERS for a split second there. He's currently just turning off his DRS. He doesn't want to fight his teammate at this point. That is very good to see. They're going to work together because, of course, the regulations state that there's nothing stopping you from working together as a team in the race, but only in qualifying as Screeny loses the position to Lucas. So both Mercedes, whilst they're in good positions at the moment, double points paying positions, they are coming under pressure from their rivals and could be slipping back soon.
Yeah, CC Brain on the soft strategy, whereas Greeny is on the medium strategy. But you never know, the softs could be quite fast heading towards the end, or we might see a similar situation to Monaco, where the softs at the end, it's hard, maybe be hard for some of these drivers to overtake. So that is probably why Greeny may be a disadvantage. We'll have to wait and see, but we know how Greeny is good at overtaking. He's the only driver yet to score points, and he knows that he's determined to get a good result today, and I'm sure him and CC Brain have been working setups together as well. Name Changer doing exactly the same as well in 11th position as he tries to get past his nearest rival of Green LFC. I would have to say Name Changer and Simo probably have put the least practice out of everybody, as their main focus this week, of course, is the Challenger Series, which is happening tomorrow for the PlayStation guys. If you want to check that out, it's on at 7 p.m. I think it's on at 7 p.m. tomorrow, I believe, isn't it? I don't know, but yeah, check Name Changer. Pardon?
Kazui's looking for a move. Kazui's just gone up the inside into turn number 1, and that is the move that we were expecting for a couple of laps there. He managed to retake 2nd position off the back of Balana. They're just utilising a little bit of ERS. That is uncanny from what happened just a few laps previously, where Balana did the exact same thing, so he wasn't challenged into Ascari. These guys are really just playing a game of ping pong at the moment for 2nd position. A bit of hot potato as Sammy Bean has extended his gap to 4.1 seconds. So it looks like Renault are really fortunate with their drivers, because they had Lee Finley streaking away at the beginning of the season. Now they've got Sammy Bean doing it here in Italy.
I think Sammy Bean is very, very glad that he's joined the team, because when he joined the team, Renault were actually leading the championship, and we thought that he wasn't going to get good results when he started the season in the Renault, because obviously when he was at reserve in Belgium, he won the race, and after that in France, he didn't particularly have a good race, but he's actually coming back race after race to potentially get more podiums, and to be honest, consistency towards the end may help him take the title, and if he keeps getting podiums ahead of Benjamin, then, you know, Benjamin's going to be in trouble. So, yeah, Samuel Bean is doing amazing, and he's already got that buffer needed just in case he gets a penalty. So at the moment, if he gets a penalty, it doesn't matter, and the pit window is open. There's people going into the pits. Banana pits as damage for
He's
someone.
hit off the back of him, I think.
Ooh.
They might. They're going to have to get a front ring ready at the Racing Point garage, and there it is. Yeah, they're changing the nose of Misha's car, the sole running Racing Point of this race, because Midnight has retired, and this is not what Mish wants to see. And unfortunately for him, he's just come out ahead of Luca, who was fighting way down the order. I believe he was in about 10th or so position. He was in 9th actually, because he jumped Greeny at one point for 9th position.
Yeah, well, I think so as well. But yeah, I think the undercut could be quite powerful as well around here. But we'll have to wait and see where Ballina comes out, ahead of his rivals when they do pit. Obviously, Benjamin had no choice to stay out, because obviously double stacking does not work on this game as well. But watch out for the top 4 drivers as they go into the pits very, very soon as well. I would have to say lap 8, end of lap 8 will definitely be the right time to pit. If you pit in later, then you're going to be in huge trouble. But we'll see what Samuel Bean does. It doesn't matter for Samuel Bean, because I'm almost certain he's going to be ahead of these drivers anyway, due to the gap that he's got, a comfortable gap as well. Or he could stay in for one final lap as he decides to. He goes again. I'm guessing Kazui's going to come in if Samuel Bean is staying out. Yes, he does. And Benjamin almost went in there. He did a bit of a dummy there, but Benjamin stays out as well. I'm shocked that Benjamin has stayed out. I understand why Samuel Bean is, but I wonder why Benjamin's staying out. Is he wanted to gain a bit of time? Because I'm sure you will lose a bit of time once your soft starts to degrade a little bit. Yeah,
the undercut can be quite potent around this circuit. Maybe they're going to work together, the two Alpha Tauris, because coming out the pit lane is Kazooie, and Ballina's going to be just up behind him. The undercut was not enough, but he might try and dive it around the outside into turn number 1, braking slightly later than the German, and now trying to make a switchback move work through the first chicane, but it's not enough, unfortunately, as if it was just a little bit quicker on that outlap, he would have been ahead of Kazooie and could have been able to hold him up, then allow for Benjamin to get into the fight and pretty much double jump him, but that has not happened there, as Kazooie really did time that perfectly. He drove at his own pace and he managed to just stick out ahead of Ballina, and he tried for the move. I do have to commend Ballina for actually going for that one, but it just was a little bit too late for him.
Yeah, I think he's very, very keen to get past his Renault rival as well, because obviously they're rivals in the championship. I won't be surprised if we do see a Renault versus AlphaTauri for the majority of this race. And speaking of Renault, Samuel Bean is going into the pit lane for his stop, and so is Benjamin as well. So I think Benjamin was waiting to see what Samuel Bean is going to do as well. Luckily, no damage in the pit lane for them. They managed to keep it clean as well, as Greeny is now your race leader, but we're going to wait and see what Kazooie and Ballina do as they head towards the Parabolica. Are they going to be ahead of, most importantly, Benjamin? Samuel Bean is definitely going to be ahead, but what about the other drivers? We'll have to find out as we see Benjamin. Oh, it's going to be ever so close between Benjamin and Kazooie as they head to turn 1, as I think we could see Kazooie just having the better run, and it's going to be a Renault 1-2 by the looks of things. Renault timed their strategy absolutely perfectly. Obviously, we got Samuel Bean that's obviously leading still, the net lead of the race. He had a 5-second gap, of course. But we got an incident in sector 2. Let me just get the track map. It is Greeny that's had damage, so he will have to probably come in early, maybe go onto the hard or something. There's no way the softs could go into the end. Yeah, his right front wing is completely gone. So yeah, he's going to lose a lot of time to Manlo. Surely it's going to be an easy pass for him. Yes, it is, into Ascarida. And yeah, that is a bit of a shame. Greeny's hopes of points are pretty much faded right now, and so same for the Mercedes team, to be honest, which is a bit of a shame. TC Brain is also pitted again as well on another 7 medium. So yeah, actually, no, he's gone on mediums because obviously he started on the soft. So I was getting mixed up on which Mercedes went on which tyre. But yeah, Greeny is still on the mediums. But yeah, he just can't. He's just struggling in Parabolica. Samuel Bean has actually gone ahead of him right now. That was very, very close. So yeah, Samuel Bean, Greeny LFC comes in and onto another set of tyres. That is a bit of a shame for the drivers as well. Toxic as well is being under pressure. Obviously, he's the bot himself. He's not going to score any points. If you disconnect, you don't score any points. As now Ballina is catching up to Benjamin. I think having Toxic's DRS probably really helped Ballina there.
Yeah, well, it definitely was beneficial to him, but of course it wouldn't have been too much of an issue to get past the AI cars. Petrox also found a way through. What was unlucky for Benjamin, currently running in a net P3, was that it was actually Kazooie managed to pick up DRS through the one of the 2 DRS straights, the one that they're just about to come up to now. He actually got it off the back of Tomato, which did not allow for Benjamin to get close enough to make any opportunities work, but a whole tank of ERS. He's got a almost full charge. He could definitely attack him on the run up towards turn number 1. Benjamin will have to watch this battle very, very closely. You can already see he's just a little bit more confident in the corners, and he might actually try and get him through into Parabolic. You can see he's pulling out of the slipstream, doesn't want to make a move through the fast right hander, but they want to brake at around about the 50-meter board, and this is when they get onto the throttle. This is where we're going to see the real moves begin to come out, because here it is, the ERS is enabled for Benjamin. He might not even need it down the straightaway, as he's going to open up the DRS. He's tucking into the slipstream. It's now a 10th.5, less than a 10th, and he pulls to the right hand side to make the move on Kazooie for the net P2 position, and it just does not put up a fight, does Kazooie. So that is a net P2 for Benjamin, P3 for Kazooie, and then Ballina just watching in the shadows in P4. But don't forget Petrox, he could be a little bit of a dark horse in this race. He is still present, and he's right behind this all the guys who are fighting for this podium position, so watch out for him.
I wonder if there's going to be some esports team orders for the VRT guys, or are they just going to have their own race, of course. Obviously they're working together in team events, but this is actually where they're part of different constructors as well. So Ballina obviously wants to help Benjamin as much as possible, but probably Ballina's going to do all his best to hold up Kazooie, so Petros could potentially get past Kazui potentially as well. So that could be some interesting tactics there as well, as Mish has left the session. Mish has also been having internet issues in this race, so hopefully you could they have been sent some backup invites, so hopefully Mish hasn't run out of backup invites and he could join again, of course, in the next few minutes or so, as another ghost car, which is sad. Obviously Toxic being another ghost car, as well as Samuel Bean has just got past Milo into turn 1 on the freshman mediums, no harm there. And I don't think the traffic is going to affect Samuel Bean due to the clean air he's had at the start of his medium stint. So I think he's going to have no trouble getting past Table Clan Handler and Name Change, because I know they will let them pass easily as well. But meanwhile, we've still got the battle edging on between Petrox at the moment. 5 tenths on Ballina as well. And it looks like Kazui has already pulled away from Ballina as well. So Kazui is setting his mind on one goal, and that's potentially get a podium, and surely he wants to get the win potentially as well, even P2 to match his teammate. But that's going to be a little bit harder than we see fit at the moment. But we have to find out what Petrox is. 6 tenths of a second now, so he is gaining a little bit right now. So Ballina may start to struggle on those medium tyres right now. Greeny on the soft compounded tyres then he decides to go on to. So that's going to be a interesting strategy for Greeny if he makes it work.
Gonna have to tyre save if he wants to make that exact set go right all the way to the end, but I just don't see it happening. He's gonna have to pit at some point. Looks like in the battle where it was really heating up just a lap ago, it's seemingly calming down a little bit. I think they want to save their tyres a bit, but that's not going to stop Petrox, because he's already pulled a gap down to 2 tenths of a second on Ballina, and he's using the last of his ERS. They are both hanging on to the last bit of energy they've got, but it's going to be an easy move with the DRS on Ballina, and unfortunately it's a little bit too similar to the other moves. It's just getting by on DRS and then the other driver letting them go through, because they really can't put up a fight against the DRS system, and it's just so powerful nowadays with the aero of these cars, and they just make them so much quicker in a straight line, and the slipstream as well. So it really cannot be helped. Maybe Petrox will try and help Simo a little bit to find a way through Ballina, who seemingly is struggling a little bit, but I'd say they want to save their tyres to get to the end, because there's no guarantee that they'll make it all the way to the end. So they just want to save up a little bit of rubber. They've really passed the ultimate sheen that they had at the beginning of the stint, and now they're settling into a little bit of a rhythm where they go slightly slower.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think, to be honest, we've seen that in, I remember the Trovo League we commentated on as well, some months ago actually, as far as I remember, where everyone was just in the DRS train and it just got busy towards the end. So yeah, that is what happens in Monza, unfortunately, and I just hope someone goes for risky moves and goes for it, but you know, it may not happen. Meanwhile, Hadler, Table Clan and Manalo go into the pits for their medium stint, and I do believe that's most people that's made their mandatory stop. So that means Samuel Bean is your race leader right now, Benjamin in second, Kazui third, Petrox in fourth. Ballina, I think, has dropped a bit to Petrox at the moment, but look at Simo, the home favourite right now. He's looking quite impressive for P6 right now at this stage. I think he's made a bit of mistakes at the start of the race, but that's not hindering him towards the end. He's really, really fast on those medium compounded tyres. He wants to get on the podium today to let the Italian crowd that there is something to fight for, because obviously the Tifosi Ferrari cars, they're not doing too well. P14 and P16, they're probably, some of those guys have probably gone home and packed their bags and gone to, I would say, the pub. Obviously you can't go to the pub now due to lockdown, but in these sort of scenarios they probably would have if it was on this game. But Mish, I believe, has lost position yet, because he's still out of the game, unfortunately, as well. So that is what has happened. But let's see what Bannon could do in these last couple of laps, and let's see if Simo can have a little bit of a sniff of potentially a podium, but it's not out of reach yet for him.
And they're just going to try and keep some gaps stable between all of them, because there's still a little bit of a haul towards the end of the Grand Prix. Of course, we just begun lap number 17. That makes it 11 to go this time by for all of the drivers. So they still have quite a ways to go. They've been on these tyres for a little bit of time, and I wouldn't expect too many battles shaping up. There's some drivers that are on a completely fresh set of tyres. Are the guys sitting in 9th, 10th and 11th position. Of course, name change of the leading soft runner, the leading alt strat, and there's a safety car out. they're all slowed down. I'm not getting any.
Me neither.
Oh,
I'm gonna look at the boards. It's a VSC. Yeah, it's a VSC. Oh, it happened to me in Xbox yesterday when I was commentating on an Xbox race. It was for the first time. Like, I've never had that glitch. Never. And yesterday it was like, Jess, you need to get the glitch now. It happened twice. One for VSC and one for a safety car. So please don't tell me there's going to be a safety car happening towards the end, because I just don't want that to happen, but that might happen towards the end. But we'll see. As we're going green flag race, we're not seeing any flags happening at the moment. We didn't even see when it went green. So we have to look at the map and look at the boards, unfortunately. But we're not going to complain too much. We do most of our complaining at the end of the race. We're going to concentrate on this battle happening towards the front. It looks like Samuel Bean is in true form at the moment. So unless he bottles it, which I hope he doesn't, he's going to win this race. So the battle is all going to be brewing between who's going to get second, third, fourth and fifth position, as Petrox is fighting back for P3. Maybe he's trying to draw those into that to help his teammate, because it could be possible. Simo's actually 5/10 behind Banner as well, so maybe this is allowing to draw in as well. It will just be great to see tactics being played like this right now, but you never know what could happen in this race so far. At this stage, is the ones on the soft, they're starting to catch up a little bit more. Name change on the back of CC Rain, but it's going to be difficult for CC Rain to pretty much challenge a move, as I think CC Rain has been on those tyres for a majority of this stint pin, as a majority of the medium runners have done as well. Done a different strategy to his teammate, and I don't think many of the soft runners are going to make their way past, because they're all on a similar strategy. They're all bunched together. If they weren't bunched together, maybe they would have had a chance to get past the likes of CC Brain and Luca, but yeah, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, as we said earlier.
Yeah, so they're all just beginning, well, they're all pretty much based out at this point from that around about kind of lower end of the points, but at the top end, at the sharp end really, Petrox onto the back of Kazooie, and Kazooie just seemingly slipping down the order. He's not having a good race today in terms of what he would consider good for him, of course, and this should be the easiest move we'll ever see in a Grand Prix, and it's really too similar to everyone else. As there it is, onto the podium is Petrox, and he's been catching for a number of laps now. Could also try and challenge Benjamin up ahead. It'd be interesting to see if he can fight him, as a Simo also makes a move up the inside. So the Italian pairing in that Haas car, that beautiful, I wouldn't say too beautiful, but in that black and white car, they managed to make up positions both together. Good haul of points for the American team, currently in 5th and 3rd, so really strong for the Haas outfit, and they could definitely be late contenders in the constructors if they put in more performances like this one.
Yeah, at the moment I'm looking at the constructors before tonight, and they were sitting at 6th position, not that far behind Williams actually. So I think it was about an 11-point gap as well, and you can see the Williams driver, one driver has retired and one driver is disconnected, so Williams are not going to score any points. So at this rate, the way that Haas are going, Haas are actually going to be leading the battle between Williams and Haas. So it's great to see as well, and Haas have a Ferrari engine as well, so out of that front, the ones that are leading in terms of the Ferraris are the Haas cars, even though they're American, but still. But yeah, I think if you're the Ferrari drivers, and if you're Binotto, you're probably going to be not very impressed that the junior teams are doing better than the main teams at this stage of the race. But I don't think the gaps are going to be closing enough at the moment. Obviously, Will's left the session to confirm that right now, and I think Simo's going to find a lot of work to do to catch up to Kazooie once again as well. You can see Samuel Bean has gained a second on Benjamin that lap as well. As we got Name Changer and CT Brain going side by side. Name Changer thinks he couldn't get the move done on CT Brain, but he did, and Handler could have a chance now to get this move down. He had no penalties in the Italian Grand Prix last season, and he did get a penalty this season as well, which could let him down a little bit. Mish, his AI, goes into the pit lane. Handler didn't go very bold there at the moment. I guess he doesn't want to get damaged there by going for a move there, but he could go into a move heading into Ascari as well. But everyone is still on DRS as well. Table Clan also on the back of this as well. Table Clan could get into the points because CC Brain, Name Changer and Handler all getting penalties. I think Table Clan could get where Name Changer is in P8 if he could keep this up, which will be very impressive as well. But let's see what Table Clan can do past Handler. No, B can't get past at the moment. Hadler, I don't think could get past Easy Brain, but just way towards turn 1. I'm assuming Hadler's going to go for a risky move there, like we've seen a majority of moves at this stage as we're heading towards the end of the Grand Prix already. That's how quickly it's gone in Monza, of course, and you know, there's been some surprises. Not many surprises at the front, where we were expecting the pole sitter to probably take the win today, and he is absolutely flying on those medium tyres. And let's see what Hadler could do heading towards turn 1. Because CC Brain hold on to name changes mistakes. He is holding, he's doing all he can at this moment in time, but he's going to get caught up in some dirty air pretty soon. So is CC Brain and Hadler. So the other soft runners, they must be very worried at the moment.
Yeah, well, as long as CC Brain has got the DRS on name changer, then it's going to be an easy fight to against the guys raring behind. But they've really come alive in this race. Name changer made a really late move down the inside. That's why I had the reaction that I did. It was a brilliant commitment from the flying Finn, you could say, and Luca. Luca's picked up a 3-second time penalty, and if these guys can get past CC Brain and then take the fight to the Red Bull driver, Table Clan could be on the money as well, because he could find another position. It's 4 guys that he could potentially overtake, and Balona as well, if they really do have all the pace towards the very end. But CC Brain can see the slipstream and DRS slipping away from him. 6 tenths is now the gap to name changer ahead. 4 tenths the gap to Hadler behind. The ERS might be the deciding factor in this one for whether he maintains or loses a position. Nevertheless, he's going to fight this all the way to the end, as now coming onto the start-finish straight. DRS has been enabled. It just looks like Hadler can't get close enough. If he really wants this move here, he'll have to send it from a long, long way back, but he's not going to make the commitment. He has to stay behind for another lap, and this is really hindering him.
Ooh.
That CC Brain's really just being dragged along in this fight. And in terms of penalties, well, they're both on, name changer and CC Brain both on 6 seconds. Hadler only on 3, so they will jump him. He will get jumped by both Table Clan and Hadler behind, but as I say that, Table Clan picked up a 3-second time penalty, which really nullifies any advantage that he would have had fighting these guys in this one, but he can still fight it on track, so it's going to really incentivize him to actually take the fight to Hadler and CC Brain up ahead.
I don't think it's going to affect many people as well now, because obviously Manolo is 7.6 seconds behind these guys, so, and Petrox has left.
Oh,
no! The guy that was potentially going to get double points for the Haas team is potentially going to lose out on the podium, and Kazui's already caught up to him already. That is a second disconnect on this game for Petrox on this race, actually. So, yeah, Kazui, I think, is going to get past. That's going to be heartbreaking for the Italian outfit and the American team. And yeah, Kazui's going to get past. That is cruel, I have to say. Petrox has joined, but I think that is too late. I think he's going to lose so much time. Let's just hope Petrox can join as quickly as he can.
I've just seen something very funny. If you'd change the gap, the interval to fastest lap, you'll see that the fastest lap is a 12.5, not a 1 minute 12.5, just 12 seconds and 5 tenths from Petrox. What a lap time from him. Really just shows how much quicker than he is. I think he should be an F0 next season, where he's just by himself at the very, very pinnacle of F1.
Oh no, F1 Esports.
F1 Esports. You know what? Just give him the title now. Yano, sorry mate, you might be watching, probably not. But Petrox is just taking your title.
You never know. He might be. He might be watching the stream right now. But we'll see. Yeah, that's very, very weird right now. But that means we'll have to do quick maths on who's going to get fastest lap now, which is a bit of a shame there. But yeah, thank you for pointing that out. And that means my deltas are now gone on the screen. So it's hard to tell who's going to go for a move. But we know Samuel Bean is going to stay where he is at this stage. But look at the gap. The Kazui is catching up to Benjamin now already. I think he just got held up a bit by Petrox. So that is really going to maybe get a 1-2 for the Renault outfit. But yeah, Petrox, I wonder if there's going to be some team orders from the Haas team, if Simo's going to probably go past him. As we got one retirement, Table Clan's out the race. He's retired in the pits, because otherwise there would have been a VSC or a safety car. So that is his race done. And why did he retire in the pits? That's what I like to know, unless he binned it.
He got damage. He had damage for changing the wing, so he just decided to end it because there was no hope of him getting points after that. Really heartbreaking from Table Clan. It could have been a brilliant race from him, but unfortunately he must have picked up damage onto the back of Hadler, and then it was most likely end plate. He makes he makes the third retirement of the evening, and Table Clan's looked really quick in this season, but unfortunately that is his race over in Italy, and it is a big fat 0 points for him today. What could have been for Table Clan, really upsetting to see.
I think he could have been on for some good points, I think, if he stayed there with some great battles as well. But yeah, I think the damage just really hindered him at the moment. But we're seeing more battles happening towards the end. I told you it was going to get spicy towards the end, and he is going to. And Simo closed the door on Ballina there at the moment. And I think Simo is never going to give up without a fight. He's going to defend for his life, but you can see Ballina is faster than him. Ballina's going to get the left-hand side line, the DRS being more powerful than anything right now. And look at Ballina's ERS, he's only on about 3% at this stage. They're pushing their ERS to the limit right now. Ballina overtakes Simo, and he's up into P5 at this stage. Not good for Simo, but very good for Ballina. But I'm sure Simo's going to be challenged by Luca, but it doesn't matter because obviously Luca has time penalties, Simo hasn't, so he's probably going to stay in P6 for now. We've got 3 more laps to go of this race, and Samuel Bean still leads this race, and I think it's mainly going to be the battle for the midfield due to the disconnect from Petrox. I think he's not going to catch up to Kazuri unless a miracle happens.
It's unfortunate from him, but he has pulled the gap down a little bit actually to the car in front. Maybe Kazuri made a mistake because he was a lot closer to the back of Benjamin previously. So don't count out Petrox. Another mistake coming out there from Kazui, and now the gap is actually dropping to almost a second. Petrox still has a fighting chance in this one, and don't forget, even though they're just about to start the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, he could still pick up a penalty somewhere along the line. It is quite easy to do around this circuit. Fights still remain throughout the order because Luca has found some pace on Simo behind him, but yeah, he's not got any ERS to spare, and he's just shy of really taking the fight with the DRS, and also Simo had the DRS on Ballina ahead, so he's going to remain in 7th position. He still has that penalty to come later on. I think 7th is probably the max he'll achieve unless someone else picks up a penalty in front of him and he manages to jump at least someone in this race. But yeah, 7th, I think Luca will definitely be happy with that performance.
Yeah, I think he will as well. I think Luca, he's had a bit of an on and off season. There's some races like Australia, for example, he's done very, very well, and in Great Britain he did not too bad, but there's some races like Belgium where he only scored 11th place as well, so he needs to fight back a bit. He got P6 last week due to people getting penalties, so he's probably going to be finishing in the top 7 again, which is going to be keeping Mr. Consistency there as well. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be many changes, I think, towards the end of finish, really. It's pretty much going to stay as it is towards the end. No weather changes as well. I think this is the first Italian race, Grand Prix race, Dan, that we've had no... for me anyway, that we had no rain-affected outcomes at this stage. So, well, that's going to be a miracle in itself. But yeah, Simo could find some time on his final lap. We are on the final lap of this race. It's do or die for the likes of Simo and Luca, and potentially people, maybe Hadler as well, to see if he can get past CC Brain. CC Brain actually is going to try and get the move past their name changer. And it's a similar move to all like we've seen with all Turn 1 overtakes today. CC Brain is up into 8th position, and this could really help him probably stay P8 and score points for the Mercedes outfit for now. Simo's found about 3/10 on Ballina as he heads towards turn 4. Ballina's going to defend to the right, trying to not give as much slipstream as possible because the slipstream is pretty much OP around this track, but looks like Simo, he's going to find it hard to get P5, but I'm sure P6 he'll still be happy with as well. And I think Bean is heading towards just past Ascari now. Not many troubles around Ascari today. I'm a bit shocked, to be honest. We may have seen it in lap 1 with maybe Midnight or something. We don't know what happened to them, but I think it was damaged lap 1 for Midnight, which probably costed him as well, but we shall see. Meanwhile, Hadler has managed to make his way past Name Changer on those soft tyres, and he's made his way past. But meanwhile, Samuel Bean is going to come across the line. He can celebrate early if he wants to. He wins at Monza. He takes his second win of the season. I think it's his second win of the season. Benjamin comes across the line in second. But what about the battle for third? It looks like Kazuri's going to get third. Simo and Ballina, they're probably going to be fighting towards the line as well. But it looks like Simo. Oh, what happened to Ballina?
Penalty on the last lap.
Penalty on the last lap, so Simo gets P4. And Luca, I think, had 6 seconds. Let me have a look at... Actually, no, I can't look at penalties at the moment. Petrox dropped all the way down to 11th. So he must have got loads of penalties. So we're just waiting for a few more drivers to come across the line. That's Roll Rally, Greeny, Fabi as well. He didn't have a good race as well. I think he's been thrown under the radar at the moment. He was just a bit unimpressive, really. But he can bounce back, I think, in the next race, which I believe is Russia next week, to start the second half of the season. And yeah, I've got to say, one of the drivers of the day has to be Samuel Bean. Dominated from start to finish, and that pit stop really helped him. And also the gap that he had. He was just on fire, and his consistent laps really helped him there. And I think, according to the standings, I think Samuel Bean is going to lead the championship after tonight, for the first time this season. So for the first time since round 3, a Renault is leading the championship in the drivers.
Yeah, well, Benjamin still did have a pretty strong finishing position, so I think it will definitely be very, very close between the pair of them. But yeah, he manages to take up second position. Kazui finds himself on the podium, but again, another consistent performance from Samuel Bean makes it his second podium in a row and his second win of the season. So we could see a little bit of a streak begin to come on for him, and it's really impressive to see Samuel Bean coming in a little bit late and replacing Lee Finley's big shoes to fill, considering that he went up to F1 because of performances, and he's really showing shades of that through these last couple of Grand Prix. Of course, he didn't win it in Monaco because I believe of a penalty, but he completely dominated today, so really well deserved for Samuel Bean, and he wins by almost 7 seconds. 6.4 seconds was the gap to Benjamin behind. Absolutely stunning performance from him.
Yeah, we just hoped Samuel Bean would probably make a mistake, but he was just on fire, to be honest, as well, the Spaniard. So, unfortunately, Simo did not win, but I'm sure we'll be happy with 4th. But let's look at your results. We've got Samuel Bean, Benjamin, Kazui, Simo, Banana, Luca, Hadler, CC Brain, Name Changer, and Malino rounds up your top 10. And we've got Greeny LFC, who just misses out on a point. But let's hope he can get his first point of the season next week. And we got Fabi, Lamp, Petrox, Roll Rally, and then your retirement, including disconnects, are Mish, Toxic Tomato, Table Clan, Will, and Midnight. Midnight retired, I believe, in lap 1. So yeah, that has been the Italian Grand Prix, but we're also going to try and get people for some interviews as well to see how they feel as well. I don't think Samuel Bean usually does interviews, but I'm sure we can get the likes of Benjamin and Kazui maybe potentially as well to get into hear their thoughts about how the race went on. We eventually got to stream the race, so better than nothing, but you know, it was a little bit more crazier last season. I was expecting it to be a little bit more crazier this season, but it happens around Monza, unfortunately. You get races like that when it tends to be a little bit quiet, but you know, there has been some star performances, and let's see how they carry into next week.
Yeah, so we'll just wait for a couple of them to join the waiting room. Hopefully it won't take us too long, but next week we go to Russia, which will be very, very interesting. Tough circuit to manage, and it certainly is on the penalties as well. You'll see a lot of those coming out, a bit like how we saw in France, if I'm not mistaken. There was quite a few penalties for just simple track extensions. Really common theme around Russia because the corners are straight 90 degrees, and that can throw people off. They normally expect some sort of curve that they can rely on, but it's just so hard to absolutely nail them perfectly. So it'll be an interesting race despite not being the most exciting in terms of overtake, but those F2 guys, they'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah, I'm sure they will as well. Penalty Central, I'm going to call Russia, as well as USA as well. So the track's coming up as well. And don't forget, we've got, let's have a look at the calendar actually to see what we've got coming up at the second half of the season. So we've got Russia, obviously, as we talked about. Then we've got Singapore on the 8th of February, United States on the 15th of February. Then we head to Mexico on the 22nd, Abu Dhabi on the 1st, and then the final round will be in Japan for round 12 on the 8th of March. We'll find out by then who is the PSGL F2 champion as well. Just a quick reminder as well, and we've already had 6 rounds already. Time does fly by so fast, but I have to say some strong performances throughout the season, but the ones that are near the bottom, they need to get their A game at the moment to try and get up there. Name Change obviously joined in round 2 and only scored 2 points. He's got many his first points in France and Monaco as well. So, yeah, I think he likes the one-pointer at the moment. Is anyone waiting in the rating room? Only the F3 person at the moment is waiting in the rating room. I don't think there's any F2 people waiting in the rating room, and I'm just going to tell them where to join rating room on Discord. So it looks like we're going to join. Have Kazooie and Benjamin joining. I don't think Samuel Bean's going to join, but we're going to at least get our second and third place in, which is better than nothing, I guess, as we've got Benjamin in. Let's start with Benjamin, actually, as we drag him in. There we go. So, Benjamin, another solid performance from you. Not quite the win there, but you got a really impressive P2 from that. Tell me how that race went for you.
Oh yeah, I'm really happy with this P2. I wasn't really confident on the track in qualifying, especially. The race pace was good, but yeah, qualified P6 and to get P2 is an amazing result for me. I think I'm gaining a lot also in the championship.
Yeah, but as
I
well,
don't know what happened to Miche this race, but I don't think he got points.
Yeah, he got disconnected, so we lost a bit of time as well. But yeah, I think it's going to be very close between you and Samuel Bean as well. I thought Samuel Bean was going to lead the championship, but it looks like he probably might be leading the championship as well. So I think, obviously, your nearest rivals didn't score many points today. Does this give you hope that you could still take the title and maybe challenge Samuel Bean again? Because you two are probably going to have put some huge fights in the season, which could make it close.
Yeah, Samu is really fast on all tracks, so he'll be my main rival, I think. I think I'm still quite some points ahead in the championship. He only gained 4 points on me, I think.
Yeah.
But he's obviously going to score some more points if he keeps up this pace.
Yeah, definitely as well. And obviously the constructors battle as well, maybe brewing as well between AlphaTauri and Renault as well. What are you going to do with your teammate to try and help AlphaTauri go to the top? Because it looks like Renault will be running away with it soon if you're not careful.
Yeah, I think we both have a really good lineup. And Xander, Nick, Berliner, we just keep practicing and we'll do our best and challenge Renault.
Yeah, and we'll head to Russia next week as well. We're to start carry on with our European part of the season. Is that a track you like? Is there any sectors that you find difficult that you need to practice a lot next week?
Yeah, I need to practice a lot. I haven't driven on it for like last game, I think. And yeah, I really don't like the last sector, but we'll see with some practice and get the best results possible.
Yes, and one thing you're going to hope for, because we've hardly seen much rain this season. Do you think that the rain will fall in Russia?
Well, I don't like it in the dry and probably even less when it rains. So I hope it stays dry, but it doesn't matter.
Yes, and we'll try and get in Kazooie as well. Thank you for joining us, Benjamin, as well, as Kazooie finished in third this race as well. And a massive well done to you this race as well for helping your teammate there as well, and also getting some good hole of points in the drivers and the constructors as well. Tell us, did the strategy go as planned for you, or did you need to think on the spot?
Hello, is my voice loud and clear?
Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, Kazooie.
Okay, perfect. So at the start, I had a pretty good one.
Which we didn't see.
There was a big crash, I think. Wasn't it?
I don't even know because we didn't see the crash.
Okay. It wasn't on stream or what?
No, we both got kicked out. The game.
There was a really big crash. I can confirm behind me.
I can't believe we missed it. That's so annoying. So yeah, you must have found it hard to try and avoid that crash. Did you have to be on your A game there?
Yeah. But on lap 1 there are instant VSC. There was instant VSC and Samu just pulled in gap, like 2 seconds, and he was off instant for the race win. But then I had to defend from Benjamin and Balina. It was fun, yeah. But yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, you must have had a lot of fun battling. But did the DRS not help you at all when the likes of Balina and Benjamin, for example, had DRS as well?
No, it was unfortunate to lose the DRS to Samu. But yeah, I gave it all, and it's P3 at the end. I'm satisfied.
Yeah, you must be as well, and obviously you scored 12 points throughout the season so far, and now you're going to move up quite a bit in the championship as well, because obviously your nearest rival didn't score many points either as well. Realistically, Kazui, where would you think you would see yourself in the championship come the end of the season?
That's a hard question. I don't want to say like top 5, but yeah, I would see myself in the top 5, to be honest.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty realistic shout with the performances you're putting out as well. And Russia, how's it looking for you, Russia-wise? Do you think you could possibly try and get a Renault 1-2 next week, or do you need to work extra harder to score some good results for your team?
Russia, I never drove Russia, to be honest. I don't know yet. We will see next week.
Yeah, Dan, any questions for Kazui before we interview our race winner?
Oh God, you put me on the spot there. You've asked all the good questions, but I would say, I
Even if it's just a
wanna
statement.
Hmm?
Even if it's just a statement, it doesn't. If you don't have a question, it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, I think I've got one. But how do you rate your chances in comparison to your teammate? Do you think that you can take the fight to him? Are you gonna try and remain a bit of a wingman to him and just try and assist him, or do you think that the fight could be there?
I think I'm fast enough to challenge him. I think I showed it in Monaco with the pole position last week. Yeah, this week P2 he was in front, but it was like 1/10. So I think I have the pace, but I need to perform. Yeah.
Well, it was a brilliant performance from you today, and I'm really rooting for you in the next coming races to do well.
Thanks.
Okay, so we've interviewed P2, we've interviewed P3, and it's about time we're going to interview our race winner, which is Samuel Bean, and it's his second win of the season. And Samuel, a big well done to you on your race victory today. Quite a dominant one as well. Tell us, how does it feel to close in on your nearest rival in the championship after that? And you're muted. I don't think he can speak in the chat. I think he just doesn't know that he...
Hello.
Hello? Yeah, hello. We can hear you now. Did you hear the question?
Yes.
Good. I'll let you carry on then.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for the interviews, and yeah, it feels so nice win my second race in this league. I first of all I want to talk about the qualifying. I think that I did a good qualifying.
Nice.
Yeah, I in my fastest lap in the first sector I did a mistake, but the lap was nice and put me in the pole position. And after in the race, my goal was try to make a gap with the car behind for the DRS, because here in Italy it's crucial, the DRS. And after that, I pit stop for change my tires. I was feeling very comfortable in the second stint with the mediums, and yeah, I win. I tried to save the fuel, the ERS and the tires, and nothing more.
Yeah, as well, and pretty much we weren't following you as much during the race, because obviously you were absolutely flying at the moment as well. And tell us, how much practice did you put into this race before tonight?
I trained in time trial, and today I start training in lobbies with my teammates, my friends, and yeah.
Yes, he must have put in a lot of effort then as well. And obviously you won your second race. Do you think you could win some more races coming up in the season? Is there any tracks where we think we could see another win from you?
Yeah, sure. My objective is try to win the championship and win the next races. Obviously, it will be a very hard work to do, but I will give my best to try to win and the championship
I didn't.
and the next races.
Brilliant. I didn't ask all the questions this time. I left some for you, Dan, this time. Do you have any questions for our race winner?
Yeah, well, first of all, just want to congratulate you on your dominant performance today. It was really good to see you really taking the fight to the guys and just completely running away with it. But my question to you would be, do you see more results like this coming in the future? And can you challenge for the title already, do you think?
Yeah, sure. As I said before, I will try to give my best to do the same result that I did today. The championship is another thing. It will be difficult, but I will give my best. I think that I have the pace, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, it was a great race from you today. Well done.
Thanks.
Okay, so I think that's all the questions for our top three as well. There's the first time, Dan, we actually got every single driver on the podium in the interview box. So that was great to hear from all three podium candidates. A big well done to Samuel B for the win, as well as Benjamin on P2 and Kazui on P3 right now. And that is it then for the PSGL action for F2. But that doesn't stop there in Monza. We've got F1, F5 and F6 that's happening right now. They're just about to start their races as well. The F5 stream is about to start, 'cause obviously the F5 commentator couldn't make it, so they're bringing in Kryptonite to commentate for F5, I believe, as well. So check out those three streams as well as they're about to start. I'm sure there'll be some cracking races as well. Thank you, Dan, for joining me in the commentary box as always.
It was brilliant to be here every single week, and I can't wait for the next couple of races to come up.
And we will see you next time around on I can't remember what date it is, the 1st of February. Yeah, the 1st of February. We're actually going to be kicking off the month in Sochi for the Russian Grand Prix. Have a good evening. Make sure you check out all the streams tonight, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.